Okay, so good evening, everybody, and I hope you are well. This evening, we are going to be continuing our French lessons with answering this question that you can see on the screen, which is Qu'est-ce que tu as mangé hier soir? What did you eat last night? So we're continuing with our topic of food and drink. And what's going to happen is we're going to look at adding the past tense. Now, in French or within any language, speaking in the present tense is really important. However, it's equally as important to be able to kind of vary your language. So that's what we're going to be thinking about this evening. So as a kind of starter really activity for those of you who have joined the call earlier, to recall and review key vocabulary on the topic. So to think about what we looked at in our first lesson. And that's really the most important thing when you are language learning, to make sure that you're always recapping things that you've done previously. Okay? So for A to E on the screen in front of you, what I'd like you to do is be thinking about the letters that are missed out, thinking about whether those words were masculine or feminine or plural, and that was obviously something that we mentioned in our first lesson. And then as an extension activity, you can also see that on the screen you have a question. Can you remember how to translate this sentence? So I like to eat pasta because it is tasty. Okay, I will give you 1 minute to have a think about the activity on the left and also to have a go at the translation. Okay, vous avez 1 minute, 1 minute, go. So it's not a problem if you need to look back at those notes. That's absolutely no problem at all. I'll be very impressed if maybe people have put things on Quizlet, because that's a really good way of remembering those words. Okay, presque 30 seconds, 30 seconds left. Okay, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Okay, so looking at our answers, and you will be able to check obviously anything that you've written down. So A, we should have la viande as our answer. Okay, and the answer should be appearing now on the screen in front of you. B, c'est les légumes. C, la confiture. D, le gâteau. Et finalement, finally, E, which is le fromage, okay? So en anglais, these words, just as a little recap really, la viande, c'est meat en anglais, les légumes, c'est vegetables, la confiture, jam, le gâteau, cake, le fromage, cheese. Okay, so thinking about, obviously we had la confiture à la fraise, where we add the flavour onto the after the noun, which is what we looked at briefly in lesson 1. So think about, if we're talking about chocolate cake, it would be le gâteau au chocolat. And that's how it would work. So thinking about the sentence on the right-hand side of the screen, can you remember how to translate this sentence? So, I like to eat pasta because it is tasty. And thinking and applying everything that we've looked at previously in that lesson 1. J'aime manger des pâtes car c'est savoureux. So just as a reminder and to refresh those brains, we need to make sure that we're using the word some, okay, for in French, because of the fact that it's the partitive article. We are not eating the entire bag of pasta, and so therefore we need to make sure that we are saying some, okay? So therefore that's why it's DES, because the word pasta is plural. Can you remember and think about how or what the partitive article was for the words that were masculine? For example, I like to eat some cake. And what about feminine? I like to eat some meat. And the answer for those would be j'aime manger du gâteau, for I like to eat some cake. so du, and then de la viande, so j'aime manger de la viande. Car, we know, or we can remember, is because, and c'est is it is. Another word that I will give you now that you can maybe add to your vocabulary bank is parce que, and it's another word for because, and that is spelled P-A-R-C-E, and then a space, Q-U-E. So parce que and car, they mean the same thing, and that's because. Okay, wonderful. So just as a reminder, we're looking at this question this evening, qu'est-ce que tu as mangé hier soir? And that's looking at what we ate last night. So we're thinking about our different tenses and adding in our past tense here to really boost the level of that language. Okay, so la nourriture et les boissons, food and drink. On the screen in front of you, you should be able to see some new vocabulary linked with the topic. And so therefore, what I'm going to do is go through this vocabulary and practice the pronunciation with you. You may also want to sit and have a little speak through these, okay? If you're live on our webinar, it doesn't matter, nobody can hear you, don't worry. So therefore, we have la viande, les champignons, le poisson, le fast food, le jambon, les pommes de terre, les gaufres, les céréales, le riz, le saumon, un petit déjeuner anglais, les haricots verts, les bonbons, le thon, le miel, les crêpes. Okay, so what I'm going to do is show you the English translations of those words on the right-hand side. I would like you to spend about 30 seconds thinking about which corresponds with which French word, okay? Some of them, thinking about cognates, may sound or look similar to their English translation. Okay, we could look at maybe les haricots verts and think about the fact that we know that that could be a certain colour maybe, if we've done French before. Le fast food, we could probably work that one out in terms of, you know, looking along that English list and which one's maybe the obvious one that it could be. Okay, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Okay, right, so let's just go through the pronunciation of those words once more, and then we'll do the match-up activity for where they, or for the English translations. La viande, c'est meat, okay. Les champignons, le poisson, le fast food, le jambon, les pommes de terre, les gaufres, les céréales, le riz, le saumon, un petit déjeuner anglais, les haricots verts, les bonbons, le thon, le miel, les crêpes. And our English for the translations that you can see on the screen. Les champignons, mushrooms. Le poisson, fish. Le fast food, the takeaway. Le jambon, ham. Les pommes de terre, literally translating as apples of the earth. Okay, that's a literal translation of what those words mean. However, that's potatoes. Les gaufres, waffles. Les céréales, cereal. Le riz is rice. Le saumon, maybe a cognate, some of you may think that, is salmon. Un petit déjeuner anglais, an English breakfast or a fry-up. Les haricots verts, green beans or runner beans. Les bonbons, sweets. Le thon, tuna. Le miel, honey. Et finalement, finally, les crêpes, pancakes. Okay, so it may be a good idea, if you haven't had a chance to write those words down, that it may be a good idea to maybe screenshot the screen in front of you, just so that you have this vocabulary for future reference. Not forgetting that super duper tool that we mentioned in our first lesson of Quizlet as a really great way of learning and revising this vocabulary. Another kind of revision strategy that you may like to use or may want to try is making little coloured flashcards and putting the English on one side and then the French on the other, so you can almost turn them over. And yeah, that is definitely quite, or can be quite effective. Okay, so thinking about continuing on now and adding our detail in the past. So you should have a pen and a piece of paper, and I would definitely highly recommend that it's important now that you add or that you make some notes as we go through this, this slide or screen really. So the past tense, just so we can clarify in English, is something that has happened already. So for example, yesterday I ate pizza. Okay, and it was delicious. Yesterday I went to the park and it was lovely. Yesterday I watched a film and it was fun. So that's what we're going to be looking at in terms of how we're going to put that into French, but based on just this topic only. So what we ate or what we drank yesterday. Now, how it is formed in French is with what we call an auxiliary verb and a past participle. And in the short form, you can see they've appeared on the screen as aux plus pp. Now, at the moment, that may absolutely mean nothing to you, and that's fine. What I'm going to do is explain now how that works, and then we're going to model some answers together, and then hopefully, you know, your understanding of that will become a little bit clearer. So, the auxiliary verb can either be avoir, which means to have. We have j'ai at the top of the list, which means I have. Il and elle a, so he or she has. Nous avons, for we have. Il and elle ont, for they have, okay? So we have both male, they have, and female, they have, yeah? The other option for the auxiliary verb can be être, okay? So you have a choice of two here, but it's not really a choice, and you'll see why in a second. So we have être, which means to be, and je suis is I am in French. Il and elle est is he or she is. Nous sommes is we are. And il and elle sont are they are, okay? So they masculine and they feminine. Now, the past participle comes from the infinitive. So maybe you can cast your minds back to the lesson 1, and I talked about verbs and infinitives with you. And I said boire we would use, which means to drink, and also manger, which would mean to eat. We are now not going to be using those in the past tense. They're highlighted in black ink at the moment. We need to be using them in their past participle form, which is the blue ink that you can see next to them. So bu is drank and manger is ate. Okay, now you can see that there's a purple dot next to each of those words, and that means that we cannot be using the être column, that actually we have to use the avoir column. Okay, so therefore, if I want to say to you, I drank, I would use the, look at the purple dot, I can see that it has to come from the avoir column. I drank, so therefore I know I need to be using the je, okay, the j'ai. It won't be il because it's not he, or nous, it's not we either, so therefore it needs to be j'ai. J'ai bu, for I drank, okay? And the same for to eat, okay? We know that to eat changes to manger in the past participle, and so therefore I ate would be j'ai manger, okay? It doesn't sound too dissimilar from the spelling in the infinitive. However, it's really when we write it that it looks quite a lot different. So what I would like you to do is to have a think about how you would say she drank. And the correct answer for that one would be elle a bu, okay? The common error that tends to happen when we're looking in the past tense is that we think of avoir and then we think of je, and then we miss out the ai or the a or the avant or the on, and you need both of those with the word in front of them. So it has to be j'ai bu or j'ai mangé. Il a bu, elle a bu, okay? It has to work like that. So let's think about putting it into a sentence with our food words that we had from yesterday. Using our partitive article, so that's our word for some, how would we say, I ate some vegetables? And the correct answer should be, j'ai mangé des légumes. Okay? Right, we are going to continue now then, and we're going to make it a little bit more complex. And there's no reason as to why we can't do that. So we have some time frames. We did have some frequency words in our first lesson. And so therefore they were words like sometimes, usually, from time to time. However, we are going to use some words that link with our past tense. So we have hier for yesterday, hier matin for yesterday morning, le week-end dernier for last weekend, la semaine dernière for last week, avant-hier, the day before yesterday, et hier soir for last night. So, what we need to also look at is the fact that we have le week-end dernier and la semaine dernière. And you may be thinking, well, why is the word last spelt differently for each of those? If we look at le week-end dernier, we can see that weekend is masculine. So therefore, the reason that we know that is because it's preceded by le, okay, L-E. So therefore, that tells us it's masculine. Therefore, the spelling of dernier needs to be like that. Whereas when we look at week, okay, semaine, we can see that the word in front of semaine is la, which tells us that that word is feminine. And so therefore, we need to add an accent onto our E and an extra E onto the end of dernier, okay, so dernière. If we think about how this would then work within our sentence, so for example, yesterday I ate vegetables, it should sound something like this. Hier, j'ai mangé des légumes. Okay, yesterday morning I ate toast. Hier matin, j'ai mangé du pain grillé. Okay, now we are going to go one step further, okay, but it won't go too much further than this. So therefore, c'était is how we add an opinion in the past tense. We had c'est, which means it is, and we now have c'était for it was. So for example, if we wanted to say yesterday, I ate vegetables and, okay, just a reminder of that word, and in French is et, a, okay? So you need an E and a T and it's a. So therefore, yesterday, I ate vegetables and it was healthy. And so your sentence should sound like this. Hier, j'ai mangé des légumes. C'était, or c'était sain. Okay, right. I am now going to give you a little bit of time to have a practice at adding these sentences in the past tense. So you should be able to see on the screen in front of you 6 sentences. Okay, vous avez 6 phrases. So A, I ate fish. B, we drank water. C, he ate salmon. D, we ate sweets. E, I drank hot chocolate. F, yesterday she ate takeaway. Okay, and I am going to give you 5 minutes to have a go at those sentences. Okay, thinking about that accuracy, thinking about the word at the beginning, I or we or he, okay, and looking along that avoir column as to which one you need to use. Okay, vous avez 5 minutes. Go, go, go. Okay, vous avez 3 minutes, 3 minutes left. And if you think you actually may have finished those sentences, just look at your accuracy and also think about maybe could you add an opinion onto those? Okay, I ate fish, it was healthy. Okay, we ate sweets, it was unhealthy. I drank hot chocolate, it was tasty. Okay, presque 2 minutes, almost 2 minutes left. And 1 minute remaining. 1 minute. Okay. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Okay, right. So thinking about those sentences and what we have translated them to in terms of our accurate French. So A, I ate fish. I will put the spellings on the screen in a second, but I'd like to just run through the answers and speak through them first with you, and then we'll add the spellings on the screen as well. So A, I ate fish. J'ai mangé du poisson. B, nous avons bu de l'eau. C, il a mangé du saumon. D, we ate sweets. Nous avons mangé des bonbons. E, I drank hot chocolate. J'ai bu du chocolat chaud. Yesterday, she ate takeaway. Hier, elle a mangé du fast food. And so you should be able to see now the correct spellings coming up onto the screen. And so therefore, just check your accuracy alongside what you can see on the screen. Okay. So it may be a good idea to just take a note or a screenshot if you haven't already made notes on how we form this past tense, because you will need it and this will now disappear. So therefore, it may be a good idea just to make a note of it. Okay. We will, as we kind of work through French, or if you're interested in continuing with some French lessons, we will look at changing and not always describing I and what you like to eat or drink, but also describing other people. So we've got il and elle for he and she, but we can also talk about maybe family members or friends, etc. Okay, so that's quite important, not to always talk about from your perspective, but also other people's as well. So thinking about you the chance to apply absolutely everything from lesson 1 and now lesson 2. Okay, and that really is the success behind being effective at language learning, is to always think about and add on to what you have done previously. So therefore, some of the vocabulary you will see in a second touches on some of the bits that we did in lesson 1. So the first activity, traduisez les mots. Your job is to have a think about what those words could mean. You can write them down or you can just do them in your head. That's absolutely fine. Okay. Activity number 2, put the sentences into the correct order. So thinking about what we have looked at in lesson 1 and now in lesson 2 on the past tense, and thinking about the order of those sentences. If there's a time frame or a frequency word, it would be a good idea to maybe think that that would come first. Okay. Activity number 3, traduisez le texte. So therefore translate the text into English or into as accurate English as possible. So the first word, normalement, you may be a little bit unsure what that means, but maybe we could work it out. But don't let that be a stumbling block as to why you can't do the rest, okay? So therefore, I'd like you to have a go at those. I'm going to go through the answers to activity 1, okay, the traduisez les mots, so the translating of the keywords. So hier, the yesterday, hier soir, last night, avant-hier, the day before yesterday, les crêpes, pancakes, les gaufres, waffles, le jambon, ham, c'était, it was, savoureux, tasty, mais, but, le thon, tuna, le miel, honey, le poisson, fish. Okay. If you have finished activity number 2 and 3, then number 4 has appeared on the screen. Don't panic if you think, oh, I've not finished anything yet. It doesn't matter. Okay, I will pop the activities on the screen so that you can work through them systematically. Activity number 4 is to correct the errors in the sentences. Okay, and the number in the bracket is to tell you how many mistakes there are in each sentence. Activity number 5 is to find the pairs. Okay, trouve les pairs, find the pairs. And finally, activity number 6, a little bit of translation into French, applying what we have done. Okay, if you can't remember or are not sure on how to say we like to eat for activity number 6, I'm more than happy for you to describe somebody else he likes to eat. That's absolutely fine. Okay, my brother is mon frère, F-R-E-R-E, okay, and that would replace the il with the past tense. That's a little bit more complex and quite tricky, but have a go, okay? Je vais vous donner presque 5 minutes pour compléter ces activités. Okay, so I'll give you 5 minutes to have a look through these activities. I'm more than happy if you would like to take a screenshot of this. That's absolutely fine. So you can do it later if you'd like to actually not hear what the answers are. That's not a problem at all. Okay, but I will go through the answers in about 4.5 minutes for those who have completed all 6 activities. Okay, I'll have a look at the answers for activity number 2, okay, and number 3, and then 4, 5, and 6. If you're still working on those, don't panic too much. So put the sentences into the correct order. So 2A, it should be j'aime boire de la viande. Okay, so that word doesn't really make sense there. It really should be manger. Okay, if you've spotted that, well done. B, 2B. So je n'aime pas manger des œufs. Okay, I don't like to eat eggs. 2C would be hier nous avons bu du café. Okay. D, d'habitude, nous aimons boire du thé. Now, this will help you in terms of activity number 6. So this nous aimons is we like, okay? And then boire, to drink. Activity number 3, traduisez le texte. So, normalement, j'essaie de boire de l'eau car c'est sain. Mais hier soir, j'ai bu du thé vert et j'ai mangé du pain grillé avec des œufs pochés. C'était délicieux. This word poché may not be too clear to you. However, think about the way in which we can cook eggs and you may get it, okay? So, normally, I try to drink water because it is healthy. But last night I drank green tea and I ate toast with poached eggs. It was delicious. Okay, if you're still on activity 4, 5, and 6, I will give you approximately another 2 minutes. Okay, vous avez 2 minutes. Okay, activity number 4, corriger les erreurs, so correct the errors. So hier, je should be j'ai, so it should be J apostrophe AI. Manger des crêpes with an accent on that first E, okay, avec du Nutella, so therefore it should be another L on Nutella as well, okay, so that would be our 3 mistakes. 4B, il a mangé, okay, so therefore no R on the end of manger, an E with an accent at the end of that word. Des céréales, so D-E-S, and then céréales with an S on the end, avec du lait, with milk, okay? So with, we know, is avec, and sans, S-A-N-S, is without. C, nous aimons boire du jus d'orange, so therefore nous aime, it should be no E on the end of that, it should be O-N-S, a bit like exercise 2D, okay, so nous aimons boire du jus, and then D apostrophe orange, okay, car, now this is a classic mistake, okay, to share with you, missing out any words within a sentence, so therefore, because car, say, C apostrophe E-S-T, and then sun, okay? Moving on to 4D, j'évite de manger, okay, so D-E is missing in between those 2 words, des bonbons, so therefore another S on the end of bonbon because it's plural, and D-E-S in front of that word, so j'évite de manger des bonbons car c'est sucré. Et finalement, for E, okay, hier, soir is spelled incorrectly, okay, it needs to be S-O-I-R. Elle a mangé, and then du poulet, okay. Du poulet, c'est chicken, et du poulet rôti is roast chicken, okay, so R-O-T-I, with a circumflex accent above the O, okay, so it looks like a triangle, but with the bottom bit missing. Okay, 5, exercise 5, so trouve les paires. J'aime manger, I like to eat. And that one goes with C, du pain grillé, okay. Hier, nous, so yesterday, we. We know that in the auxiliary verb that nous has to go with avons, so therefore it would be hier, nous avons bu du lait. Next one along, we have je n'aime, and when we're adding a negative, we need the pas in there as well, so therefore it would go with F. Je n'aime pas manger du saumon. I don't like to eat salmon. Il aime needs to be followed by a full verb, okay? Il aime, so therefore the answer would be B. Il aime manger des frites. He likes to eat chips. Okay, that's a new item of food for your Quizlet list. Hier soir, okay, last night, j'ai mangé des gaufres. Okay, we know it's past tense because of the time frame used here. I ate waffles. Et finalement, parfois, finally, sometimes, and then we know that that one goes with E, which is I like to drink tea. J'aime boire du thé. Okay, right, last activity, en français. Sometimes we like to eat meat, but yesterday I ate tuna and pasta and it was tasty. My brother ate chicken and green beans, but I think that it is disgusting. Okay, so you will have to look back at the notes from lesson 1 to help you with some of the vocabulary with this translation. Sometimes, parfois, nous aimons, okay, so nous and then aimons, A-I-M-O-N-S. Manger, M-A-N-G-E-R, de la viande. Mais hier, j'ai mangé du thon et des pâtes. Et c'était, it was, savoureux. Mon frère, my brother, a mangé du poulet et des haricots verts. Mais, but, je pense que c'est, I think that it is, dégoûtant. Okay, so just as go through without any stopping in French for activity number 6, quelquefois, or parfois, sorry, nous aimons manger de la viande, mais hier j'ai mangé du thon et des pâtes, et c'était savoureux. Mon frère a mangé du poulet et des haricots verts, mais je pense que c'est dégoûtant. Okay, merci beaucoup tout le monde. Thank you very much, everybody. I hope that you have enjoyed your French lesson this evening. I look forward to chatting again with you tomorrow. I will try and get the webinar sorted for the morning so that you can have a chance to tune in first thing, or if not, it will be later on this afternoon. But check our Instagram page for more details. Also, if you would like to share your French journey with any friends or on your story or however, I'm more than happy, or we would be more than happy for you to do that. So really, really huge well done for wanting to learn a language. It really is such a great way of keeping those brains healthy and challenging yourself. So really well done. Bravo. Okay. Au revoir. Passe une bonne soirée. Goodbye and have a lovely evening.